massively start to pay you back for all the early effort that you put in. So anyway, a few tips then. Now, one of these, it's really, really important to send Christmas cards to your established customer base. Now, this is with the catalogue customers predominantly, or of course, if you've got local Facebook customers who you're delivering to locally, or they're ordering from you regularly, then absolutely, by all means, send them a Christmas card as well. Or why not have a look at some of the e-card companies out there. There's loads and loads of that. Just do a bit of searching on the internet, you'll find some of those. Many of them are free and things like that, and you just send nice little e-cards and stuff like that. But they will massively, massively pay you back for that little bit of cost for a few cards and stuff like that, or lots of cards, okay, if you've been in a while. But obviously go with what you can afford, of course, but handwrite them is the big tip here. Okay, if you handwrite those cards out, and that little bit of investment in a few cards there, I guarantee you it will pay you back over the next year tenfold, and that's without a shadow of a doubt. It really, really does. Okay, it's a great icebreaker as well with new customers and things like that. It shows them you care, it shows them you value their custom, and it's just absolutely the way to go. So that's the first tip. Okay, the next one here. Now, with the Christmas retail, there's lots of little things you can do to help grease the tracks with the retail, etc. Now, product placement is another one which works pretty well, okay? And the way to do that is if you go into shops that you use, so you're already a customer of these people. It could be your hairdressers, maybe it's the salon you go and get your hair done in. It could be the shop on the corner. It could be the takeaway where you're going to get your Chinese or your chips or something like that. Not all of them will do it, obviously, but a large amount of them will. Just the way to do it is just go in there and say, hey, I've been a customer of yours for many, many years. How about do me a favour? That type of approach. So it's done in a nice, friendly way. And basically, product placement. So basically, there's lots of things you can do with this. You've got the front cover products there, which you could put on display. And of course, that gives their shop or the barbers, it gives it a nice Christmassy feel anyway, because it adds that sparkle, a nice bit of Christmas lighting. And very often they like that. And then all you do is you just put a little thing on there, buy me for a tenner or something like that. And what you can do is say to the shop that for every one they sell, you'll give them a little bit of a donation towards the Christmas do or something like that. Doesn't have to be a lot, 50p, pound, something like that. Doesn't have to be a lot. And basically that can work really well. There's also the little novelty toys which you've got on the back cover there. You can see I've put a little picture of the tree there. And these are great as well because, again, they dance around a little bit. So when somebody walks in or something like that and you push the button, they add a nice Christmassy feel to the shop or something which they may not normally have. So very often they'll do that for you. Okay, so that's another one. And also the doorstep demos, as we mentioned last week, and we've obviously mentioned once or twice, but again, I will mention it again because we are really now in the throes of the Christmas, and the darker nights are starting to come in now, of course. So it's a brilliant idea to use these, the little light up baubles on the front of the catalogue there. Just order yourself one in, and when you go and deliver the order, just carry it with you. It helps light the path at night as well, so a double purpose there. And I guarantee you'll get stacks of orders. Just when they're getting the change ready, just say to them, oh, by the way, whilst I'm here, would you be interested in buying one of these? And then turn it on, it'll all start to glow, and the trick is to actually give them possession of that product. So just say, oh, would you mind just holding that for me while I get your change? And then when they do that, they'll literally take ownership of that product, and very, very often they'll fall in love with it, and you'll get lots of orders that way as well. Okay, so that's the doorstep demos. It doesn't have to be that product. There's loads and loads of other products you can use as well. Okay, you've got the little Macmillan one there, which is just inside the front cover. The little bauble just here. Okay, £7, and on the bottom of those it actually says Macmillan, etc. It's got the official logo on and everything else, and basically people will obviously be more than willing, I'm sure, in many cases, to give a bit of support to the Macmillan nurses for Christmas, and there's a £1 donation for every single one of those you sell to Macmillan. So it's a thing the company do on a regular basis. So again, that's a brilliant one to do as well as anything else you fancy having a go at. Okay, right, that's that one. Now another tip here, and this is where you can also go into businesses, and a lot of people don't actually realise this at the start. Okay, but you can maybe order yourself in some of the few rolls of paper, something like that. Okay, perhaps a couple of packs of the Christmas cards, or of course just take the catalogue in with you, where you can leave some of those around as well. And maybe you work, which I know some people do work at the big office blocks and places like that. So it's a brilliant thing to go in there, and maybe at the lunchtime just bring the bucket out, put them in a bucket, something like that, and just say, okay, who wants a bit of Christmas stuff, anything like that. And you'll often get orders that way as well. And I know there are some people who actually go into office blocks as well at lunchtimes and things like that, and just ask if they can, see if anybody wants some of the Christmas items. And again, you might be able to donate a small percentage towards their office party or something like that. So loads and loads of different things you can do to boost your sales at Christmas. Another one, if you're online and you're doing the Facebook groups, don't forget to do your Christmas competition. Typical idea here, Christmas hamper competition. It doesn't have to be expensive, just go into Poundland, something like that, get yourself a couple of little presentation baskets. We actually go into our local florist, who lets us have a pile of those cellophane wrappers for about £1. Okay, so you don't need to spend a lot of money on those, and just a few, if you go get some little bags of sweets, chocolate, anything like that, dress them all up, and for a very, very small cost there, you've got a lovely looking Christmas hamper. That's just a basic chocolatey one, but you can see you could easily put some Christmassy things in there. And again, in Poundland they do loads of things in there for a very cheap price. So again, there's lots of other ideas as well for competitions. I'm sure you'll see some of those coming up on the group and all that sort of thing on the G4G group. Okay, and what I wanted to do as well is, that's a few ideas from me, but are there any of our other established distributors, a little bit of interaction now? If you could just maybe type a few little ideas there, if you've got another idea which can help boost the Christmas retail, if you have, just pop it in the message box there, just drop it in, let's see if we can get any more ideas coming through. And say Tim did lots of these last year, yeah, we did as well. No more ideas there? Have we covered the lot, have we? Okay. Alright then, not to worry. Okay. Oh, raffles, yeah, there you go, Val. Raffles, you could do raffles online, things like that. There's a stack of these things, honestly, Okay, there we go. Parents' bin, the playground, Find the Angels, sell squares with charity, Lucky Dips. There you go. Halloween goodie bags, of course, we've got Halloween coming up as well. That's a great one, Michelle. Yeah, scratch card competitions. There's loads and loads of different things you can do here. And as I say, if you look on the group and things like that, I'm sure, I'll ask the question on the group, I'm sure lots of people will swing into some ideas for you. Okay, so without further ado, that's pretty much me done for the first part here. But I'm now going to pass you over to a lady who is an absolute star in the business. This is Debra Pusey. Been in the business now just under 10 years, and she's absolutely flying. You really, really do want to make some notes here. I know Debra's got some really good tips for how to get started with the initial bunch of catalogues you get and things like that. So without further ado, I'll pass you over to the amazing leader, that is Mrs. Debra Pusey.
Thanks for that, Ian. Wow, so many tips, so many things you can do or choose not to do. But if any of these, if you see things talked about there, about some of the lucky dips and things, maybe speak to your sponsor before you go ahead and do some things, get their opinion on bits and pieces as well. But thanks, Ian, there's loads of ideas there to boost your sales, things that you probably can do at this time of year that you wouldn't even try at other times. And the demonstration of products, we know that's one I have done every year, and I will get loads of extra orders through demonstrating the whatever it is that lights up usually. But being glass, I'm a bit clumsy. I end up breaking a few, so I haven't yet gone round of any just yet. But I will do, because you guarantee to get extra sales, and customers love it as well. So today I thought I'd do a little bit of a training. So many of you we know are joining with the option to join with the £25 or the €30 kit, but you get given just a few catalogues. Now some of you I know are joining specifically to do online. Others of you are seeing it as a way to quickly network those catalogues to qualify for more catalogues to be able to then use the catalogues properly. So it doesn't really matter too much. What I'm looking to do today is to really focus on the fact that you have joined with just a handful of catalogues, and you're actually going to get given 5 of each of those catalogues there. 5 K-Life, 5 Clean Easy Member and 5 Christmas, and they'll come with order forms in the bags. Okay, so you may have joined to make money online, that may have been what you wanted to do, but you're going to get given these when you start anyway, and they'll take 3 days to come. So if you've just joined and you haven't received your catalogues, they'll be on their way. If you haven't yet got a team member, then when you do bring someone into the business, this is exactly what they will receive if they join this way. So who are you going to give these to? Well, clearly Ian's already shared some ideas what you can do with products and things, but it makes absolute sense to give these catalogues to family and friends, people who are local. Why? Because they're much more likely to buy from you because they know you. You know that they're going to believe they're going to get good service. They're doing you a favour in some ways too. So you know, why not get them out to family and friends? But then once you've got more catalogues, you can look at online. Your customers who bought online from you, you can give them a catalogue, take them into work. Local shops, Ian's talked about that, neighbours and your street. There's endless places you can leave these catalogues. Now if you use these catalogues wisely, these first 15, 5 of each, you will get more orders, so you earn more. You will qualify for more free catalogues. Okay, and as I said earlier, you can give these to your online customers at the very least. I know that Alton and the team gets fantastic orders by handing out catalogues to her online customers. Doesn't do that much door to door with the catalogues, but make sure that all her online customers who bought locally receive a catalogue, and they ring her up with additional orders. I think one of them has ordered, I think, over £150 so far through ringing up with extra orders, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, they trust you, they've bought ones from you, they like you, we know what a difference you make to your sales. So if you're not getting sales, you know, you're friendly enough, because you know it does make a difference, reliable and all that, and you know, you get repeat business. So the best advice when you get those first 15 catalogues is to get them straight out. In fact, what I would do is make a list of who they're going to go to before they even arrive. So you're not sitting for 2 days thinking, well, I've got 2 out, but haven't done much with the other few. You want to have them straight out, so you know who you're going to be seeing, probably by the day that they arrive. If it's certain friends you see once a week, you know, don't go and hang on for a whole week to the catalogue till you see them. Get them out to other people a bit more locally first. And I would ask them to do you a favour, have a quick look, explain to you just got started, you've only got a handful of catalogues right now, because they take a quick look, they won't think, let you know, but you'd like it back tomorrow because you've got to pass it on to somebody else. You've only got a few, they can have a much longer look next time when you have more catalogues. So you need to get them back in. There's got to be a sense of urgency. People say, oh, I haven't got all my catalogues back yet. Then they shouldn't be with somebody for 3 days. You've only got a handful. And if you can work those hard, you will get amazing results. What have you got there, Val? Always be happy and smile. Give them absolutely, people want to buy from happy people, they want to hear about your problems. Now, the key to this is that you're looking to try and get £150 worth of orders on the system ASAP. Why? Well, you made some money, you're going to feel positive, it's working, you'll have earned back your investment, your 25 quid, so that's a bonus as well. How quick can you do that? A couple of days, some people, even quicker in some cases. But you also can choose 50 free catalogues, and to me that's one of the really important reason not to spend ages doing this, because the company have got amazing rewards. So as soon as you've done £150 in your first 30 days, you can choose 50 Clean Easy, which come with a Christmas book, or 50 K-Life. Now, what do you choose? What would you choose? Well, I see on the Team G4G people qualifying for this, and it's a mixture. Some choose Clean Easy, some choose K-Life, and it's the same with my own team members who achieve this incentive. What I would say is, what's selling best for you? And that's what I ask people. I said, around your friends and family, where you've got your first £150 from, what did you feel most of the orders came from? And some people will say, definitely K-Life. Other people, complete opposite. It was Clean Easy and then what the Clean Easy books. So, you know, maybe start off with what seems to be selling best for you. But remember, the whole idea of this is you don't just stick with that book. You can qualify for more catalogues for free. We're going to show that in a minute. And then you can choose the other catalogues, or obviously you can choose to buy some, that's your choice. Now the method we recommend you use with these catalogues to get them out there, once you've gone past friends and family and you've got them out there quickly, you're clearly going to have to approach other people. And the best way to do that is to go down the street, start local to yourself. You don't have to walk past loads of houses. I certainly wouldn't normally, I suppose, start off with the real posh houses. Some people do, thinking that's where the money is. Actually, I tend to do better in much more modest owner-occupier council housing, that type of properties. People stay, they're family housing, that's the sort of thing where I get my better results anyway. And the method we recommend is that you tap and tell. In other words, you don't push the catalogue through the letterbox, you've only got 50 plus your 10, remember. You just stand, you tap the door and you hand it to someone, okay? Now, in the chat, let's have a bit of interaction. Please, those of you who've done tap and tell, can you list some of the benefits of tap and tell compared to maybe a method where you push the catalogues through the door? Just quickly, so some of the benefits of this tap and tell method. Less losages, yeah, you lose far less catalogues when you're handing them to somebody. You get to know your customers, absolutely bound. Don't lose books, quicker collecting, well quicker collecting, Amanda. I know you've done this. Smile, immediate impression, get your books back, build a rapport with your customer, people order again, people get to know you, you get chatting to people, and I'm sure I've missed some others. I'll just whiz up a little bit and see if there's any I've missed there. More friendly, immediate impression, quicker collecting, yeah. There's lots of benefits for doing this. More orders, yeah? Someone's actually put there more orders. Absolutely. Okay, is there a good picture? Well, I'm going to share with you really what I say. Okay, there's different people say slightly different things. You've got to be relaxed, but I will share with you in a minute what I say. Okay, these are some of the things I just jotted down earlier. You're going to get more orders. I believe, and I've done lots of this, blanket dropping as well as tap and tell, huge amounts of tap and tell over the last few years. I really wanted to prove it would work and followed it right through a system in many areas. You do get more orders, and you can get pretty much 3 times, I believe, more orders if a catalogue's been handed to somebody than if it's been posted. And there's quite a lot of evidence from the company averages on that as well. So significantly, if you've only got a few catalogues and you want to get more sales at the end of that week, clearly there's a limit to how many orders you're going to get pushing catalogues through doors. Whereas if you can get 3 times as many catalogues from the from the same amount of catalogues, of course you're going to have more orders at the end of the week. You lose less. We reckon that you normally lose about 10% when you post catalogues. Well, you start off with 50, you lose 10%, you've lost 5, and you lose another 4 the next time round. You can see you're soon down to 30 catalogues, and you're just not going to get the results at all. So it's an absolute no-brainer that you do not push catalogues through when you've got so few catalogues at the start. You're going to build a relationship with her that much quicker. People are much more likely to trust you buy next time, even if they didn't buy this time. Remember, just because someone's had a catalogue to then take it, doesn't necessarily mean they've got the time to actually have a good look through now or have the money to buy something, but they've seen the catalogue, they've met you, they're much more likely to look at it the next time. You work out straight away people don't want one, and that's something else that makes it much quicker for next month. So all these people, and you will get them who will say no thank you, just move on, because the other people next door who will want a catalogue, you can cross those people off and not have to go back. And of course they begin to trust you because they've met you. These are just some absolutely fantastic benefits that you get from this side. There's a downside, of course there's a downside. I'm not just going to tell you all the positives. I will share some things to bear in mind, because I know there's a reason why people prefer to go and push their 50 catalogues through doors. There is a reason, you know. We might talk to new people about this, but we know that in reality, when you're faced there, and it's pouring down with rain and you just want to get home, it can be tempting. You've knocked on 20 doors, only one person's answered because you've gone at 10 o'clock in the morning. It can happen, it's happened to me. You can be tempted to push them through, and yet you've heard the problems when you start to do that with such a small number of catalogues. I'm not saying there's any problem pushing them through if you've got loads of catalogues. I've built my business that way, and lots of people still do that. Absolutely fine. And I do a bit of it at the moment around my existing customers, and I've had some great orders. But you need a lot of catalogues to make that work, and I use a lot of old catalogues too. So the downside can be you can feel quite nervous. If you're not used to doing this, you could feel nervous knocking on the door. I know I did. It's quite natural. Don't let that stop you. Push through it, but it's normal to feel that way a bit at first. We don't like people saying no to us. It's no to a catalogue, but we still don't. Catching people in is definitely more difficult before 4 o'clock, obviously at work, shopping and so on. Takes longer to deliver. Yeah, of course it takes longer to knock on doors and wait for people to come to the door, but it's massively quicker collecting. So in total, I don't think it takes any longer at all. You never know if you never would know if you've left the catalogue with somebody if they would have looked at it. And I guess that's what some people say to me, yeah, but if I push it through, at least there's a chance somebody may look at it. There is that chance. And of course we won't know, will we? But on balance, we still seem to find it's 3 times more orders if the catalogue's been handed. So don't let that idea stop you from following the idea of tap and tell. And if nothing else, start this way until you have enough catalogues to push through. So in other words, you're going to qualify for more free or choose to invest in some, pay them back in a couple of weeks' time, but you'll have to pay them back. So don't go getting loads more than you're going to work for. But this is a great way to start with less catalogues. Build your catalogue numbers up, work them really hard. A day or 2 is all you need to leave them with people. So getting ready to tap and tell. And just looking, you buy catalogues on offer bill? Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of good offers on. We never used to have them now to help you. It gives a lot of cost and you find it out. Absolutely, Julia, that's too right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, getting ready to tap and tell. First of all, get your pack made up. Put your name on the order form. You can get labels. You can get the labels from Clean Easy. You can get them from eBay if you want lots. That's definitely the cheapest place to get them for. I think £4 you can get about 2,000 address labels. So it's much cheaper if you want large amounts. The little sticky labels where you put your name and address on the top copy of the order form. So you do need to at least write on your contact details on the order form if not. So you've got your catalogue, you've got your order form, you've got your name on the order form, and you need a slip in the front. It doesn't need to be one of these slips. The one there you can see there, the personalised one, colour one. They're from a company called Barney's, but there's lots of other types of slips you'll see. We've got some on our resource website. There's another style there, which are blank, and you just write on the day of the week and your name at the bottom. And you can obviously you reuse them because you're going to have Monday, you don't date it, and so on. But you do need something. And if you've just got started and you've got nothing and you haven't got a printer to print something off, you know what? Don't let that stop you putting your catalogues out. Piece of paper, nicely written, collect Wednesday is better than not putting them out, okay? So, try and get yourself organised with these things, but at the very least, you're going to hand it to somebody. They will forget what day you've said if you don't have something to remind them of the day. Absolutely essential. Keep a record, of course, of who has taken a catalogue, who didn't want one, you don't want to leave them one next time, and the people who weren't in, because you're going to go back to them another day, try a different time of day. If you're doing it in the evening, maybe now try in the morning, people work shifts and so on. If you only go at the same time of day, clearly you're going to keep missing possibly the same people. Know what you're going to say, and that's why I like the comment earlier that was made about what do you say, what's the scripts, because there isn't a perfect script. What matters is that you keep it simple and it flows, and you've got confidence, you've got posture. If you are mumbling because you're shy and you're not giving people eye contact and you haven't got the smile, you're not going to instill confidence in anybody wanting to buy from you. So you do need to practice that bit in front of the mirror. I did before I went out, and it really does help if you do that. Practice with your sponsor, if necessary, your partner, but just decide what you're going to say before you go out. It really does make a difference. You need to keep some records. It just makes such a big difference. Otherwise, you're going to end up forgetting where your catalogues are, which is not what you want, and giving them to people who didn't want one, which is a waste of time. This is all I simply say. You can say more, but this is all I say. I usually give my name. Hi, I'm Debra. I'm just dropping off the latest Clean Easy catalogue with people. If it's okay, I'll collect it back on Monday just after lunch. If you don't mind just popping it on the doorstep, that'd be great. They just won't need to disturb you. Now the key things really are is they know what I'm there for. People will wonder what you're on their door for. They're suspicious. So you've got to straight away, clear, cut to the point. They know exactly what you're there for. You're just dropping off a catalogue. You're not saying, would you like one? Would you like to buy? Would you be interested? No, you're not giving them really a choice. You're just going to say, I'm just dropping it off. If it's okay, I'll collect it back on Monday. Not if it's okay, would you like one? And if you follow those little words there, you will get people sort of saying, oh, all right, okay. And I'll point to Monday, which reminds them it's Monday, and I'll show them I want them to leave it. Again, just by pointing. And it does make a huge difference to the number of catalogues that will be waiting for you on the doorstep if you do that. If you miss that bit off and not tell them when to leave it out, you will have more to go back for. It's an absolute fact. So it's dead simple. Anyone can say that. Smile, speak slowly. I know I speak too fast. So I have to work hard at the door, and I probably should work harder on webinar at speaking slower. Remember, people don't know what you're going to say, so they're not anticipating things. Therefore, you do have to slow it down with a smile. It feels quite painful, I find, but it does make a difference that people can get what you're talking about, and you'll find that most people will take the catalogue from you. Okay, now the incentives that are amazing that the company have, in addition to this first lot of 50 catalogues, when you hit £150, you can also get more catalogues for free. You really want to get these because of all the benefits we said earlier where you can use them. So as soon as you've got £600 in total from the day that you joined, and this has got to be done during your first 30 days from the day you started, you get 2 more choices. So you've already had 50 catalogues, you can now choose 100 extra, and you could choose 50 of one, 50 of the other, or whatever. You even get a choice of some drop ship credits, and that means you instead you could choose to have 5 deliveries for online sales, and with a free delivery for your customer. So if you were selling quite a bit, you might decide that's something you'd want to do. But at this time of year, I would definitely start off with getting the catalogues. I really would, because they're going to absolutely help you by passing them around your local online customers. Now, as you end your first month or your first 30 days, you can still qualify for more catalogues. As soon as you've completed £1,200 worth of orders in your first 2 months, you get 2 more choices again. Now, if you did it really quickly, you could do it all in your first month, but the total deadline is 60 days, and it's when you've hit that £1,200 in total since the day you joined. Lots of people are qualifying for this. We're seeing it. I know Nikki couldn't get on today because she's got terrible Wi-Fi and things where she's moving at the moment until it's all been sorted. But no end of people in her team this week have achieved their 30-day challenge, and Nikki's due for the mini, I do believe now. So we'll have more of that confirmed very shortly. So well done to everybody who's smashing through those levels at the moment. Now this is just a picture of our team resource website, teamg4g.com, the password 747. Even if you've just joined to do catalogues and not much online, you will still find a wealth of information, particularly on the resources tab. So familiarise yourself with that, and if you have joined to do some online, there's a ton of information there, from a week 1 plan to follow to running competitions and so on. So make yourself aware of what is there, and then you obviously can go back and have a look. Okay. Right, don't miss the opportunity to introduce these amazing catalogues. I just can't stress enough that whatever you've chosen to join with, whether it's to do online or catalogues, these will definitely improve your results if you use them properly. And why not just get into the habit of just doing a few every week, tap and tell. You know, even if you just did 20 a week, the difference that would make, there are people who would have hit their bonuses and smashed through them by putting a little bit of this on top of their online sales. You know, it just makes such a difference just doing a little bit every now and again, and obviously if you want to do more you can, but speak to your sponsor, they'll absolutely encourage and help you. And you know, I can't finish any type of induction without talking about sharing this opportunity, because this is where the bigger money is. This is where you're going to get paid whether you work or not. This is where you're going to see your bonus levels just fly, because other people's orders get added to yours. And this is just a simple sort of plan there. You can see there's you doing your orders, and you've helped say 10 other people do the same thing. They still get their money from the company, they still get their bonus, but you get an override because you've introduced these people, you're supporting these people. If it wasn't for you, the company wouldn't have these extra orders, and that's all it is. And if you look at these figures here, somebody would have gone and earned themselves £1,200 per month. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, that'd be lovely, does that happen? Well, this is a young lady who we've all seen her lots of times, who did this within 3 months, okay? 3 months from joining. Absolutely nailed the sponsoring, and is still doing right at the top of the company for new business sales and for sponsoring. And it's a result of that she's going to walk away with a mini very, very shortly, that she'll be able to have brand new for a year, or take, I think it's £400 per month for the year as well, on top of her usual bonus check, which is absolutely incredible. So that income that Nikki earned in her first month was £300. And she joined November last year. The next month it was £400. Then it had a massive jump to £1,200. How? She Did Nikki sell more? No, she didn't. That big jump was through team building. But you know what? The work was done in the second month when Nikki earned £400. The results of that work absolutely showed in month 3. So don't stop. There's so many people who start, they lose belief because somebody's going to join, didn't didn't do anything. Nikki just ploughed through, getting the people in, sharing the information, getting the information, generating leads day in, day out, day in, day out, and now has got a fantastic business where I think over 40 people, more than that I think, joined her team this period. Not all of Nikki doing, no, loads of her team also sponsored as well. Massive duplication going on. So this is when it gets really exciting, and this is what's available for every single one of you, your sponsors there to help you. Just a couple of slides I thought I'd finish with. 3 things you can't recover.